Guys, if this is your first time in my live, my name is Chief Apostle Samuel Jr. I am the apostle and pastor of Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ Incorporated, and my beliefs are deeply rooted in the ATRs. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for being a part of our platform. Thank you for joining us. And I want to say, first of all, salutations to my madrina, to my madrino, to my oba, and to all of my brothers and sisters in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lakumi, Congo, Palo, Mystic, and Adjays. What's up, Jeremy? Thank you for joining us on this evening. What's up, my Stormy, my Sagittarius from Detroit? To each and every one of you guys, I want to say, hold on. Salutations to my madrina, to my madrino, to my oba, and to all of my brothers and sisters in the ATAR. What's up, Mama Susan? Aunt Clara. I just started calling her today. I want to say also hello to Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Aquarius, Cancer, Capricorn, Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Libra, and Virgo. Hello to each and every one of you guys. Thank you for joining us today. I want to say also, this has been a great opportunity for melanated people and all of those that want to learn the ATRs. We got other people joining our class, our psychic class. I explain the significance of that, and I'm going to also tailor this particular message for those that want to understand being psychic, psychic energy. A part of being psychic is also your communication to the divine, to your ancestors. So it is basically for anybody that actually wants to have any type of spirituality, have more clarity. What's up there, my Miranda in the house? Aloha from Hawaii. That's my Aquarius too. I want you guys to understand that these classes and things that I'm offering is to help us actually be able to be in a position for all the that is coming to this United States. People are not playing with melanated people, and I hope melanated people ain't playing with these other folks. So I want to come in here and give you tried, true, and tested information. This is going to be really, really good tonight. What's up, my baby Scorpio? And Monique told me you sent your donation, so thank you, baby. Anything anybody sends to me, I greatly appreciate it. Let me say this. I'm going to talk about something that is significant, and it is a part of energy and manifestation. To those that have been following me for 2 seconds, 2 minutes, you're gonna really, really like what I'm gonna teach on today. Now, be thou responsible for the information, because all y'all grown. I don't teach cheering church, so make sure you guys hit that like button as you come in. I want to say to each and every one of you guys, this live is for melanated people, giving us an opportunity. What's up, my 69? Giving us an opportunity to make up some ground when it comes to our spirituality. Many of you guys have not grown up with your actual African history, not even practicing really African tradition. Thank God that your DNA is what it is, because a lot of you would not be in touch with any of your Ache. And so therefore, I'm going to break some stuff down and giving you an opportunity to do some catch-up work. If you got an opportunity to be a part of our membership, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to the next elevations that many of you will be experiencing. I'm looking. I know God gonna move for my baby Scorpio, because she put that request out there, and I know it's gonna come to pass. Now, let me say this: my subject on tonight, this Tuesday, is manifesting through the mental body, and we're going to be talking about Shungite energy. Those that was with us the other night, we learned how to manifest through the emotional body. And we're going to learn, I talked about apoptolite, and now we're going to learn each one of these elements. Because I need you to have some knowledge when you get into my psychic class. And one thing as a teacher, I set up prerequisites before somebody ever gets my classes, because I got to give you the knowledge, the wisdom, understanding, so you can connect dots and you can get more out of my classes because of these teachings that I do for everybody. And universal laws apply to everybody. So we're going to be talking about the mental body, and we're going to be coming from Jeremiah, the 29th chapter, verse 11. And I want y'all to understand something. A lot of people watch my lives. Some of them watch normally when I go off live, and the replay is out there because they don't want my numbers to be up and they don't want me to get credit. But anytime you watch my videos, I get credit and paid for it anyway. And that's the sad thing about melanated people. They're always trying to get out of tipping somebody. They're always trying to get out of doing their part, but they want all of this from the divine, the universe. And so therefore, we got a lot of growing to do. We want to be healed. We want to be made whole. We want generational curses to be broken. We want all this stuff, but you got to have the energy, the prana, the chi. Okay, we're going to be coming from Jeremiah, the 29th chapter, verse 11. And then I'm going to break this down because I can. I'm a Sagittarius, moon in Aries, and rising sign Pisces. It says, verse 11, for I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith the Lord. Thoughts of peace. Peace means without disturbance. And not of evil. Not demonic. Not trying to hurt. Not trying to harm. It says to give you an expected end. So the concept that we're coming from tonight is all is mind. When the mind of God, the mind of Christ speaks, and the mind of Christ, or the mind of divine feminine or masculine, tells you the outcome through thoughts, through telepathy, through clairvoyance, and you adhere to the conditions that you are presently going through. One of the things that I pride myself on when I hear the voice of God, and when he tells me I shall recover all, the in-between don't matter to me. If the ancestors speak to you right now, you don't have a level of confidence to trust that and the process of the manifestation. It is important as you connect with your melanin, as you connect with your dark matter, that you understand what is the mental body. And what I want to explain, the mental body, just like the emotional body, consists of emotions. When the mental body consists of thoughts, ideas, images. And I want to talk about this part of the mind that you need to perfect. It's called cognition. It's the mental action or the process of acquiring knowledge and understanding through thought, through experience, and through the senses. It's a perception a sensation or idea or intuition resulting from the process of cognition, which that means mentally processing things. We talked about critical thinking. We talk about observance, allowing the whole process of all is mind to speak to you. When you understand what all is mind, then you will also understand the mind of Christ that dwells in your higher self. Because that's the version of you that was made in the image and the likeness of the divine. So therefore, when you are guided by your higher mind, you're being guided by the mind of God. And therefore, when people watch your actions, if you're being guided by the mind of God, then they're going to see manifestation. What is happening is people say that God or the Spirit is speaking to them, but there's no manifestation. God does not give, God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit, the ancestors do not give you ideas and thoughts that they have no intention of manifesting on the earth plane. I'm going to say it again. If you were connected to your divine mind, then a lot of the stuff that you're doing, you would not be doing. The thoughts that you are having are low vibrational, or they're fleshly, or they're carnal, as we say in the church. But you are going to a divine God and the mind of God, asking to resolve your earthly situations. But you're only responding to the thoughts that are carnal. You're not responding to the spiritual thoughts because you don't know enough about your God or your spirit, what they will say and what they will think. See, this is why I say that this is a lifestyle. Because if you know the mind of your ancestors, if you know the mind of your higher self, and you know the mind of how your other spirits work in your spiritual core, then you're going to be in alignment with those thoughts. And we understand those thoughts carry energy. And those thoughts have electrical energy. The benefits of higher levels of mental energy. Are we talking about Libra? We're talking about Aquarius. We're talking about Gemini. All of us have some form of mental energy. We all have an emotional body. We all have a mental body. But these are tapped into the air element, which is the mental world. And how you manifest with the air element. You get ideas, you get thoughts, you get suggestions, and they guide you. This is the mind of God. And what happens is, let me read this. The benefits of higher levels of mental energy is confidence, happiness, focus, as well as increased motivation, willpower, and productivity. Does this sound like people that's supposed to be tapped into the mind of God? Do you see an aspect of confidence, a aspect of happiness, their ability to focus, not easily distracted, not wavering in their thoughts? And I like this say, increased motivation. They also have willpower, and there's productivity. In other words, there's always a harvest. If you want to be psychic and you want to be tapped into that, you got to be tapped into the mind of God, the mind of Christos, the mind of Christ. And he says, in this mind, let this mind be in you that was also in Christ Jesus. This is not a Christianity thing. This is universal. What's up, my love? My Tara's in the house. Let me explain something to you guys. For whatever reason, we're going to a spiritual guide and we're trying to process this energy, frequency, and vibration through our mental faculties, our carnal faculty, our brain, if you will. When this is a spiritual journey, so therefore you have to be spiritually minded to be able to discern the spiritual things. I'm gonna say that again. This is not your natural mind, your natural brain, by which you should be deciphering the interpretation of dreams and visions, premonition. All of these are coming from the spiritual mind. And a spiritual man or a spiritual woman, no matter Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lokumi, this is why I don't listen to a lot of y'all. When y'all come to me talking about your spirit talking to you, I know that the spirit is not talking to you. And I'm explaining why. Your ancestors would never have you doing the things that you're doing. The mind of God, there's a level of confidence that we call it the all-knowing. When you are tapped into the Akasha records, it says in the end of that scripture, 29, Jeremiah 29, verse 11, God will give you your expected end. When the mind of God told Peter to go to the ocean, and there will be a fish, and in that fish mouth will be the money to pay, render to Caesar what is Caesar, and to God what is God. There's always an expected end. There's always a purpose and a reason why an idea was given to you, why a vision was given to you by the higher mind. But you out here running around like a chicken with your head cut off. I'm going to say that again. If you want to be taken seriously about your spirituality, then you need to be concerned about the type of thoughts that you are implementing in your life. What comes to pass after you say the spirit has spoken? Whether that spirit is Ola Damari, whether it is Mighty and Zombie, whether that's Egon, whether that's Sarisha, Loa, and Kisi, that's what I judge. How do I know that you're being guided by the mind of Christ or the mind of God when you're not tapped into your mental body? All of us melanated people are multi-dimensional people. And there's different aspects of ourselves that exist on different planes. And I have reiterated this over and over. Your ability to deny what God has for you because you're stubborn, because you're comfortable being in the pattern of thoughts. Let me tell y'all something. The wisdom of this world cannot be compared to the wisdom of God, of the divine. Divine mind is superior. The divine mind knows why they sent you that vision. That divine mind knows why they gave you that idea, why that even came to your mind. The reason why we clean our heads and the reason why we do the things that we do in spirituality is because we want to open our mind, our higher selves to the divine. And this energy, this divine mind, says that its thoughts are not of disruption, but of peace. It says not of evil. So the divine mind is not here to work against you. The Christ mind is not here to work against you. That's why we see in the scripture, so a man thinketh, so is he. You are manifesting from your lower mind. You're not manifesting from the mind of God or the Christ mind. Because it has to do with your design and it has to do with your purpose. Do you understand that? That in order to tap into this energy that exists in everyone, you have to spend time with the divine mind. You have to spend time with your ego. And that is not something that melanated people want to do. They want to just be this powerful vessel and manifest all this energy, and you have no respect for the process of the mental body. How a thought is formulated, how it is processed, and how it is brought to pass. How a vision is induced and then brought to pass. How a dream is manufactured by the spirit and then brought to pass. And you want to accumulate all of this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding through natural means. If you are saying that you're trying to practice spirituality, I can care less what label you put on it. Don't you have to be spiritual? If you want to do spiritual work, don't you have to be spiritual? If you want spiritual protection, don't you have to be spiritual? There's an aspect of you that must be awakened, activated. And then once activated, you have to trust it to let it guide you. A lot of y'all want other people to make you trust them, but you don't trust yourself. You don't trust your mental body, and you don't trust your emotional body. All of that is you. I'm going to say it again. All of these aspects are layers of your energy. And before you would educate yourself, before you would invest in yourself, you would pretend to hear from the Spirit. If there were more people tapped into the divine mind, then a lot of people would not be able to fake it to make it. Because we all would be conscious of what the divine mind is. We will all be conscious of what the Christ mind is. We will take our time to cast down any imagination or any thoughts that are contrary to the thoughts of God concerning your life. This is when you get a reading. I'm tapping into the divine mind. I'm tapping into the Christ consciousness. And what the purpose of these moves that the spirits are making in your life. I'm going to say this again. Even though we can manifest on the earth plane, we still have to use one or two or three of these portals to gain manifestation. And you're not going to be able to manifest something when you can't hold the frequency, you can't hold the thought, you can't hold the idea, you can't hold the dream, you can't hold the vision. Your visualization skills are not good. Your memorization skills are not good. You have to have a cognizant ability. And this is what's important. Why I talk about herbs. Let me break this down. Mental energy is the ability and the willingness to engage in cognitive work. The mental body is the mind. What's up there, Ryan, in the house? I want y'all to really ask yourself a question. Are you really trying to learn true spirituality? The reason we read is that we sharpen our cognizant skills. The reason why we meditate to sharpen them same skills. They are exercises that one must do in order to strengthen the muscles of the mind. I'm going to say it again. Just like there are things that you can do to strengthen your emotional body, there's things that you also have to do. There are certain practices, certain ATRs that specifically increase and advance your psychic ability, your cognitive skills, your senses of your mind. You're trying to jump to your third eye, which is the eye of the mind, and you don't even understand the mind itself. Why would you open a door to your mind and you ain't even in control of your own mind? You're going to give other spirits access to your Christ mind, your higher mind, when you don't even understand the consciousness of your higher mind. Talk to me. What happened? Pastor, thank you for all the work I need to do a video to testify about Eli. All right, Ryan. Yeah, I appreciate that. You're spending more time trying to learn your ego, your lower state of your mind. I'm teaching you spirituality. I'm teaching you how to tap into your own mind, your higher mind, your own subconscious, the real you, the real you that's going to exist long when this body is gone. There are many aspects to open the outside of the third eye. But it's a door. It's a portal into your consciousness. This is how we get psychic attacks. I want to teach you strategies. How do you guard your door? How do you guard the gate? When people are psychically attacking your mind, how do you protect your mind, your consciousness? When they're trying to bring confusion or disturbances in your conscious, your subconscious to manifest in your conscious mind. There's a order to your development. And these are the things that I'm trying to share with melanated people, so you will understand how valuable your energy is, how valuable your timeline is on this earth in this life. And that if you want to better understand what I'm teaching and why I'm talking about the things I'm talking about, then you have to be developed and groomed. And these are all the things that allow us to use telepathy or meditation when it comes to tapping into our cauldron, our rishas, our loas, our inkisi, because a spirit does not have to be in your energy field for you to hear that spirit, because your mind connected to their mind. Imagine how much more confidence you will walk in if you will really tap into the mind of your ancestors, that you can tell the different consciousness that's in your spiritual court. You know when your grandmother is speaking because of her consciousness. You know when your cousin is speaking because of consciousness. You know when your warriors are speaking because of their consciousness. They can send you messages, not only while you sleep, but while you wide awake, because you're open. Your conscious, super consciousness is open. You're tapped into all its mind. This is why we go through all these ceremonies to open this crown as much as we can. And it becomes a satellite, and it's receiving messages and it's sending messages. This is what makes us mediums. This is what makes us oracles. This is what makes us prophet and prophetess. This is what makes us vessels of the divine. Priest and priestess. It's a form of communication, back and forth. Let me tell y'all something. In order to understand what I'm saying, I'm going to explain it like this. I'm going to talk about the brain, the satellite, your ori, your crown, whatever you're going to call it, your head, is made of carbon and copper. Melanated people, all of our brains, every last one of our satellites that's melanated is made of carbon and copper. That's what allows your brain to send out signals throughout your body, and your body is moving so fast. That's why you don't have to tell your arms to move. It's like the movie Avatar. You so connected because they will shift their consciousness into the avatar and maneuver. Just like I can release my consciousness. I remember I was laying in my bed and my body woke up and I saw my spirit about to walk out of my bedroom. When my spirit realized that my body was waking up, it went back. It went dark. That was my spirit going back to my body, and then I actually woke up, because we're connected to our vessels through a cord, and so our consciousness can leave and go to different dimensions if you so choose. But you have to protect that consciousness. And when you out on the astral plane, you got to be able to have proper protection so you don't get overthrown. How I'm going to say this? I know what our melanated people have the potential of doing. But we keep trying to find an easier way. And it doesn't exist. Shungite is made of carbon. I had this outside getting sun, and then it started raining. I left it outside. There's nothing outside of this universe that is not within our melanin. But if we don't spend enough time trying to understand our temple, our body, our Merkaba, then how are we going to do these feats of magic when we can't tap into the aspects of ourselves, whether it's through voodoo, whether it's through conjure? Yeah. Yes, sir. This is a piece. I told y'all I do not play. I do not play the radio. I got many pieces out here. And I'm going to do this in our psychic class. I'm going to use Shungite. Because Shungite helps you to be able to open your mind. Because this is carbon. This is copper. When you put this together, you get an electrical charge. I'm going to say it again. Even in biochemistry, when you put carbon, because carbon is a life force, the guard particle that make up melanin, and then when you put copper, which is a conductor of electricity. This is why we have electrical charge around our mind or our brain. This is why I say energy follows thought. There's a science behind your mental development. You can feed yourself certain fruits and vegetables and strengthen that connection. Or you can take certain drugs and certain toxic and processed foods and then weaken that connection. Are you going to tap into your logical side of your brain? Or are you going to tap into your psychic or your intuitive side of your brain? This is what Geminis have the capacity. That's what the whole twin thing is. The right hemisphere and the left hemisphere. They are able to tap into the minds of all people. This is why Gemini are able, this is why they have to know their own mind, because you can lose your own consciousness dealing with somebody else's consciousness. I'm going to say it again. These are not tools to be played with. Astral travel is not something you play with. Everybody you want to go outside of yourself when you ain't spent time inside yourself. You don't even know the kingdom within you. So how, if you get in trouble outside of your body, how do you call that kingdom to come? Thy kingdom come. How do you do that? What class did you take? What tutelage? Who groomed you for such battle? When did you become an expert in consciousness? Biochemistry. When did you understand the minerals that make up your brain and your tabernacle? And have you ever been concerned where these thoughts are coming from? Where these energies are coming from? Who's attacking? Who's reaching out to your mind? Who's speaking to your mind? Who's trying to get you to go left when you're supposed to be going right? Who's trying to keep you from going right? Why is their consciousness following you? Why is their consciousness monitoring you? Because you're not the only one that has a third eye. And people that can move their consciousness, majority of them spending time trying to look into somebody else's life, another spiritualist's life. And it ain't going to help them none. This is why in the church world, people want the prophetic gift so bad. They want to be a seer so bad. Not for the reason the Bible talks about edifying people. Prophesying to edify, to elevate, to esteem. No. Your mental body is important. And especially if you want to manifest your ideas on earth. You want to manifest, bring your thoughts to be actualized. I do some readings and I talk about your vision, your dreams, your goals for yourself, your business, whatever. That's how that thing manifests. And sometimes I'm talking or giving you information that you really don't know how to apply. Because you don't understand enough about yourself and different aspects of yourself. And you're not doing enough exercises. And you're not around the information. I'm going to read it again. Cognition is a mental action or a process of acquiring knowledge, and understanding through thought. Whose mind are you entertaining? I hear some of my baby Scorpio say, I'm not listening to nobody but Apostle. And you don't have to be like that. I just want you to understand. My sheep know my voice, and a stranger, another consciousness, they not gonna follow. I don't let people influence my mind. It's so many people that come to me and trying to get me to go left, right. You're not my Padrino. My ancestors already picked who they want me to. And when we have disagreements, we handle it. I'm not going against my higher consciousness because of a disagreement or because I don't understand something. You remember the scripture said, my thoughts are higher than yours? What if you were operating on a lower state of thinking and the person that's teaching you is on a higher level of thinking? That doesn't make what they telling you wrong. That's why you need to learn how things manifest. When I tell you it's going to work out, you're looking at your condition because you're not thinking with the mind of Christ. You're not thinking with your higher mind. All this mind transcends all this shit. It transcends the matrix. That's why when I'm trying to explain to you that a lot of people that are talking about they're tapped into that, you wouldn't be stuck in the matrix. You can leave this matrix whenever you feel like it. You're not a prison. You're not a lost soul. You're not a cloud without rain. You would understand what it is to have the all-knowing mind of God. Even when I was feeling good, when I tapped into that place, when I thought elevating through those different spiritual bodies I have, and tapped into that Ache, this right here, this temple, it got to line up. Your spirit tell your body what to do, not your body tell your spirit what to do. Your consciousness, your superconscious, tell your conscious mind what to do. It's not in the reverse. When we say the word avatar, we're talking about the physical body. When we're talking about the consciousness, we're talking about what controls the body. That's the way our African science is. Not the way these non-melanated people trying to teach you magic and energy and all that. Because we are electric, magnetic creatures. But up here, it's electrical. It's magnetic in the heart. I'm going to say it again. It's electrical here. It's magnetic here. When you're trying to tap into your energy, in your frequency, your vibration, that's why I keep pressing y'all about the 13th circle. In certain dimensions and levels, you're not going to get on your own. It's going to come through group effort. And if you had the mind, you would understand the clarity. You would understand where your willpower coming from, where your productivity coming from, where your happiness come from, where your confidence is coming from, and where your focus is coming from. Once you know, what is that part with the woman with the issue of blood? She said She said in herself, her consciousness, if I can but touch the hem of his garment, like the prodigal son said within himself, go and enter my father servant doing and living better than it is. I ain't got to go back as a son. I can go back as a servant and have a better life than this. Your consciousness always knows what to do. And if you start with your consciousness, your higher self, your mental body that's connected to the all-is mind, then you will have a more easier road to go. Not because the road easy, but because you can be guided. You're listening to your inner compass. You're listening to your inner guidance spirit. So therefore, when Apostle Ely says something to you, it resonates. And you can process it without the struggle. Soon as I tell y'all about something cost whatever, all you see is a number. You don't tap into the provision of the divine. Because if they intend for you to have that, they're going to make a way. Just like I do it every time. I go to them. If this is what you want to do, you the one got to make this happen. I'm not going to stay up all night trying to figure this out. That ain't my job. It's your idea, your vision. I will hear. I will obey. Bring it to pass. You think it's your mind telling you it's your responsibility. No, it's your higher self. If they want you to develop and get to these next levels, what I'm talking about, you know what they're going to do? They're going to make a way. You're going to say, oh my God, something happened and now I got the money. I want you to understand what ancestor veneration is. You're tapping into the consciousness of those that have been disembodied. They're already eternal. There's no reason for them to tell you something or guide you a place with no purpose. They ain't finna do it. They trying to evolve too. They trying to get more light too, more veneration. So they're not gonna trick you. But for some unknown reason, y'all don't like to spend time with your real self. That's why you hear me say this is a lifestyle. The doors are always open when I need them to. Don't make it a struggle. It's enough going on in life without you consciously making it harder than what it really is. You got some work to do, yes, but they still got their work to do. If this is what you want me to do, send the people. If this is what you want me to do, make a way. But I'm gonna go to sleep. Because all I am is the instrument. I'm the anchor that touched down into the earth plane. All y'all that walking up in the astral realm with my higher self, get to work. That's why we light candles, to light the way for them. Who you think is doing the work? The spirits see the candle. The spirits see the smoke. Didn't that Gabriel appear to Zechariah, John the Baptist's father, when he was burning the incense in the temple? So we do all these spiritual things for the spirits, not us, the spirits, so they can do what they were purposed to do. That's why we burn reversal. That's why we burn protection. That's why we burn blockbuster, mental clarity, peace incense, seven chakra incense, triple threat. That's why because we're contacting different spirits in our spiritual court. That's why Demetrius will say, well, put this candle or this all incense burn in front of Zarabana or Centella. I burn incense through my house today, healing incense. That wasn't for my physical body, that was for my spiritual body. Because sickness starts, it comes from the astral realm. And so I'm correcting whatever that is going on in the spirit world, and then I receive the physical benefits of that spiritual energy. That's why we do spiritual work in the spirit world. We work on the court case in the spirit world and try to influence the outcome in the spirit world before they ever have court. We have court in the spirit world before you have court in the natural. That's why when people come to me, don't give me enough time. You ain't give me enough time to change the astral outcome. That's why timing is so important. You got to be able to influence the mind of the judge, the jurors, the prosecutors, and sometimes, damn it, the actual attorney that's supposed to be defending you. That's a lot of minds to work. And you need time to penetrate and to influence. Thank you, Demetrius. Let them think I don't know what I'm talking about. They'll see. And these other people can give you what they ain't got. Because you know what the problem was? You would have heard this way before I ever talked on this. You're going to hear it now because they watch my videos and then they try to put their own twist on and then try to talk about some of the same subject matters that I already discussed and broke it down. But I still get credit for that because they egos know they ain't come from them. I still get credit. Whether you acknowledge me or not, I still get credit. That's my energy. Those are my thoughts. Those came from my spiritual team. Down the road, y'all gonna really know I had y'all best interests at heart. Whether you support me or not. Whether you be a part of our ceremonies or not. I am the real McCoy. They know it. You better figure it out. And as long as you trying to outwit me and trying to go beyond me and my reach, I don't really care. Because that's between you, your spirits, and my spirits. The mental body. When we burn the mental clarity, you're helping your mental body. You're helping your cognition. You won't be so easily confused. You won't be so easily distracted. And you'll have more confidence. Because you'll know what the mind of God or the mind of Christ is truly telling you. And you won't worry about these other mindsets that are out here. All right? Like I said, those that get in class, Shungite and copper. I actually take copper on the inside. You can take colloidal copper, but I take copper tablets for my melanin, and I also take for my brain acai and lion's mane. That's me. I take gold to be able to manifest my thoughts and to allow me to be more sharp when it comes to my telepathy. To be able to pick up thoughts at a far distance. The signal. It's all about the signal. The stronger your signal is, the more you can pick up. The weaker your signal is, some of y'all drop spiritual calls. The ancestors be trying to talk to you, you be like, I can't hear you, I can't make out what you saying. Cause you ain't sharpened this. Your signal is weak. You're not doing it for me, you're doing this for yourself. You're not trying to get these two for me, you're trying to get them for yourself. And one day you gonna know I wasn't lying to you. This was not a sales pitch. All right. Love y'all. I see y'all on tomorrow. And just have a good night. I want you to really sit on this. Mental body. Psychic class. I see you there.